proven to yourself that, you can do these little things. And then Laura's advice, right? Which is start small and build up. And I mean, I can speak personally. I mean, started a little, Etsy store and 3D printed things and taught myself how to design shit in CAD. And this is all while I'm running my landscaping business. And
right,
it was completely through just the love of doing that. I could get lost for hours and hours doing it. And that's a pretty good sign, right? If you can get lost for hours doing something, you're probably on to whatever it is that you enjoy doing, right? And then, I don't know, yeah, YouTube and all the rest of this stuff, right? And you start going like, well, all of a sudden I've got these like 4 or 5 things that all kind of funnel in and surround this one thing. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe there's a business here. And well, here we are. So yeah, I don't know. I know that like Tom's got a point, because I've been on that corporate side of things, and I've lived through, well, a lot of it was actually in the oil field, and that's got like huge ups and downs. Like, I mean, every 6 months you hear of like a big oil company laying off 10,000 people. It's especially in Texas or Alberta, where I was in Canada, it's just nonstop because it's a boom and bust industry. So you were always looking over your shoulder going like, shit, what's coming, right? And that's not fun either.
I think it's like coming back to like the balance, right? Because like there's a lot of people that have, like, he didn't mind the cabling company. That wasn't something that he did his whole life. It just fell into it, happened to be a business opportunity and a venture, and then I know I've had some so-called traditional corporate jobs or whatever that have been more than tolerable, right? And it's sort of like when it's good, it's really good. Right? There was a couple like great years in Dubai that it'd just be like, man, if it stays like this. But it's almost like when it's bad, it's really bad. And it's different when it's your own thing, because at that point, it's so easy to cast the blame on, oh, it's my 9 to 5, or oh, my boss sucks, or oh, this sucks. It's almost like you're fooling yourself, or you can point the finger. Whereas if you've got your own thing, the only person that you can point the finger is at yourself, right? So I think as long as you like, if you can tolerate your job and then you can have that side hustle, like, I think you're probably fine. In fact, that could actually be ideal in many ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, it's not like being your own boss, and yeah, you got every customer is a boss, and then you got your highs and you got your lows. Now, we always compare it. We're saying it. We're comparing it against the corporate switch. We're not comparing it against the tolerable switch.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there that don't mind their jobs, like teachers for one. Weird breed.
Yeah, I mean, taking care of 25 of other people's kids. I don't know how they do it.
Humans, yeah.
Or like, the caretakers, like the nurses and the teachers.
I always say that takes
all
special people.
Yeah. And
I'm glad they exist. Yeah, 100%.
Me too. 100%.
One of the tricky ones that I think is very misleading, at least for the way that I'm wired and the way that I've done things. I don't know the name of this kid, but he's done a really good job of promoting the shit out of himself on the internet, YouTube, Instagram. He's on all of them. And he walks up to people in really fancy settings, beautiful cars out front. And he's like, excuse me, sir, what do you do? And how did you get rich? The guy,
what do you do
right?
for a living?
Yeah,
totally. And more often than not, you get well, listen, I was working for somebody else, and then I thought I could do it better, so I started my own thing, and that thing was like insurance or mortgages, or like, nothing against those industries, but like non-sexy, if you will. Like, nobody wins the lottery and goes, now I'm going to be a mortgage broker. You know what I mean? Like, that's never been said. So the tricky thing with that though is I think it misleads a lot of people because they're like, oh, so you mean to tell me that like if I just carve my own little path in insurance or mortgage brokers or whatever, I can be like this guy and I can be in Monte Carlo driving a Bentley and all this shit. It's like, no, you can't. Like that guy's the anomaly right there. He is, I'm sure, had a lot of whatever. I don't want to like say that the guy didn't have a lot going for him, but probably 51% of his wealth was pure timing and pure luck. And so where I'm going with all this is I don't necessarily think the path to like you doing your dream, whatever it is like mucking your way out for 8 or 10 years, just so then at the end of that 10 years, you can now do what you want to do. Because what's dangerous about that is you don't know what's going to happen in 10 years. Like Chris, you just went through it. Like shit can surprise you at any given moment. So unless you got like a guaranteed banger, like you're Biff in Back to the Future and you got the fucking almanac, right?
Great
unless
sports almanac.
Yep. Unless that's the case, I think you should spend as much time as possible doing something you love. And I know it's cliche and you hear all these fucking gurus say it, but it's like, do what you love and everything will work itself out. The money will follow, like all that stuff. I mean, in a roundabout way, it does. I don't know if, like, Chris, we talked about this, dude. I mean, you do also adapt and you get really good at pivoting and like, okay, shit, money's a little tight this month. Like, we're going to do this and then that's going to happen. And like, you get creative. I don't know. It all works out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You just got to trust and believe.
Well, I think too, like it's, whenever you're immersed or thrown in a situation that you have to, it's always like when you see the couple and they're both working and then they have these kids and then they're like in sports or this or that, or like even if I looked at you in pro with 3 daughters, I'd be like, how the fuck do they manage or have time to like do what they do?
Yeah. We told all 3 are dating.
Yeah. But like you managed to make it work, right? So, and it's just, and that's your norm. Like, yeah, you might not be sleeping very much or, you know, you're like, oh my God, stressed to the nines, but we all are in our own ways or situations.
Our own reality. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. You like people with 2 kids can't imagine how people with 3 do it. And 3 can't imagine 4. And it's a whole thing. And it's that, I said this on a pod recently, like the hardest thing you've ever done is the hardest thing you've ever done. And fuck, man, like the thing that I get so passionate about with all of this is I'm like, all of this can go away tomorrow. And the last thing you want to think as tomorrow never comes is, fuck, why didn't I? That is like the worst regret that you could ever have. And so now's the time. Like yesterday was the time. I don't know.
Yeah. But, you know, if you take that, which it makes sense, but take that and say, okay, I don't want to wait. I want to make sure I do it. So starting this Saturday, I'm going to start XYZ moving forward. Like you said, I get hit by a car on Friday. It's like, okay, you had the plan. You never know. But saying I'm going to start it, never starting, and absolutely, then you're always going to be second guessing yourself.
Yeah. So. You know, buddy, I said this here recently as well. I mean, like what we've been able to, or been blessed to have happen in our lives with this adventure that we're on down here is unbelievable. And I mean, it's kind of scary to look back and think it took us almost 12 months to put that all together. And to your point, Lewis, a lot could have happened in 12 months. Yep. But I do remember on multiple occasions saying to my wife, I'm like, even if tomorrow doesn't come, and this was probably said at like 1:30 in the morning as we got fucking personal documents laid out all over the garage floor. Like we're scanning shit with our phones. It was 11 months of pure chaos. And I'm like, if tomorrow doesn't come, I know in my heart that I'll be proud that I was at least trying.
Right. You tried. If you didn't succeed, it's one thing, but you tried it rather than you have regrets that you never, you were doing 7 months of prep and everything. You guys worked, you planned, you weren't 10 times in debt over your asshole trying to go through a whole new adventure. Like there's stages you worked up to so you can execute it, right?
Yeah.
That just has to be part of if you want to make a change.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be that washed up quarterback in the bar that like, you know, had an attitude and totally. And didn't go to that tryout because he already knew he was better and should have made it and all that shit. Nobody wants to be that guy. That is a miserable death sentence. You know, not to get like into the religious realm of things, but in my opinion, that right there is hell. Like that is the definition of eternal shit. Taking those last few breaths, that would be a miserable existence, man. When you're going like, dang it, I was going to start tomorrow. I don't know.
Just as long as every day doesn't turn into I'll start tomorrow, you know, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But dude, that's the thing. I think way too many folks are living in that existence, right? Like, oh, tomorrow I'll start, but tonight I'm going to watch 15 more episodes of whatever, right? It just, I don't know.
Well, what is it? What did I say? 3 weeks to build a habit. So you've got to break the old one to start the new one. It's not easy. It takes discipline. I'm not gonna lie. I wish every day I come home from work, I'd cook dinner and I'd haul my ass out into the garage and get shit done faster. But guess what? Sometimes I come home, I'm tired, I don't want to do shit. So I cook dinner, we eat, and I plop my ass on the couch and hang out with my wife. Like that's not productive, but I'm like, tomorrow I'll go finish putting that shit together. The seal can wait one more day.
Well, let me ask you this though, buddy. Like, do you like at the end of your day? And I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I did this every single day, but most days I do. Like, I'm constantly questioning myself on like, was today a good day? Like, did I accomplish enough? If tomorrow never comes, it always has that underlying tone to it. Like, was today a good day based on that standard? And, you know, I think it was it wasn't last night, night before, maybe. I did exactly that. Like I went home and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm just going to sit on the couch and I'm going to blow my brains out on old 80s and 90s movies with the kids for a bit. And it was great. I will admit there were times where I'm like, man, I should be doing something right now, but I didn't. And it was kind of nice. So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. It's just, absolutely, if while you're doing it,
but you know, I understand that scenario. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you there, Garrett, but can you hear us? Oh yeah. So I get what you're saying, and when my daughter was younger, like your girls, I had a different point of view than I do now that she's in her 20s and moved out. You know, she's living her life. I used to do a lot more of that. Well, should I do this or should I do that? But I want to spend the time with the kid, right? Take her out back swimming, or we went out for a walk or whatever she wanted to do. Go to her dance classes and sit there, bored out of my mind, thinking there's something else I could do, whatever the case might be. Yep. But as she got older and you had less of those activities, because as they get older, they know more than us, right? We don't know anything. We're the dumb old people.
Oh yeah.
Then I stopped thinking about that as much, because I was like, well, thank God I took those experiences then, right? I don't think of like, shit, why didn't I spend that extra 5 minutes doing XYZ with the kid, things like that. And then like now I don't think about that. I do think I don't look at things a little differently. Like I won't come home from work going, oh, am I happy with today's results, or, you know, however you described it. It's only if there's like a day was extra stressful or something like that, I'm like, okay, do I want to keep doing this crap? Like, do I hate this or do I not hate this? That I do think of that occasionally. I've got a little over an hour ride home, usually an hour and 10 minutes or so. So I got some decompression time there. And sometimes I talk to the wife, other times I'm listening to podcasts, stuff like that. Or I like, okay, no more talking, music only. And it does help bring back the perspective, because, you know, I'm sure you've been there. You can get in your own head and really fuck stuff up. So, you know, don't want to go too far off into the woods. So that I look at a little different. But, you know, you do have a point. And especially, like I said, with your kids at the age they're at, they're doing so many things, and you got 3 of them to factor in there. So you want to keep on, you know, there's experiences that your wife's going to see because she's there and you're not. I mean, we had times where, you know, Steve and I were on job. We'd be gone all week because we go and travel the state to visit our customers, you know, so we're gone Monday through Friday. So I miss out on whatever's happening Monday through Friday. But guess what? Saturday and Sunday, I'm more hyper focused to try to, I don't know if catch up's a bad word, but, you know, again, when she was smaller, it's much different than when she got bigger, because those things changed and their interaction with me changed. And we still had homework time. We'd hang out. That was always something, you know, dinner time. We always ate at dinner as a family, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that, well, like everything in life, perspective is key. Greg at FP Performance there, he was mentioning to me after we were done recording the other night, because he's got a very young family, and he said his little one said to him, Daddy, you know, she kind of brought it up in a real adult manner too. And she was like, Dad, can I talk to you for a sec, kind of thing? And he's like, of course, you know, I really wish you weren't so busy all the time. Right. And it's like, oh my God, like this is just grabbing you in the balls of your soul, right? Just wrecking you instantly. You're like, fuck, what am I doing? You know, because this is kind of the opposite end of the spectrum of what we're talking about, where like you can pull yourself so far away from your family that, you know, it's hard to come back. And I said to him, I'm like, dude, you know, I went through a lot of the same thing, and I still with Sadie, my youngest, get a little bit of that every now and again. But I mean, you guys know me. I mean, not everybody listening to the pod knows me as well as you guys do, but I mean, very involved dad. It's one of those things you got to have an appreciation of, like how kids understand things. They're kind of like goldfish. Their fucking memories about 3 seconds long at times, you know? But anyway, I said, buddy, all of this is going to come full circle for you, I guarantee. And I told him this story about coming to the shop here and inheriting a lot of the stuff that's in here, including these just thin, like Home Depot 4x8 sheets of whiteboard. I said, the kids were here with me one night, and I was doing whatever, and they were in the office, and they found the whiteboard pens. And unbeknownst to me, they had written me some notes that I didn't find until the next morning. And it's these notes that, like, it sounds like the parent kind of writing the kid. And it's shit like, Dad, I'm so proud of you, and that you're chasing your dreams, and like all this shit. I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to get all choked up. But I'm like, Greg, it's going to come full circle for you, buddy. You know, like this, especially if you're the type of dad, which I think he is, that has conversations with his kids and helps them understand what dad's doing, right? Or what mom's doing, or whatever. Like, just discuss these things with them, because at the time they might not know, and maybe it is just a conversation that they're missing. But that is a tricky one, right? I mean, I often wonder, you know, because we're quite busy with the kids, right? And they play a lot of sports and stuff. And you see some families and you go like, holy shit. I mean, you guys must just be like wealthy beyond belief, because I don't really know how both of you are here all the time. Both of you are showing up in like white and black Escalades, like the whole thing, right? And you're going, fuck, like I know how far a dollar goes. This doesn't make sense. And I guess in a perfect world, if a guy planned it out appropriately, by the time you were at at that stage of life with kids, you would be like very comfortably set up. We're not there, right? Like we're fucking fighting for every penny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what the answer to it all is, boys. I just know at the end of the day, if you're happy, you're going to be happy around your wife, you're going to be happy around your kids, you're going to exist with your friends in a more happy state versus yeah, like just wishing that you were doing something else, you know? Just
Yeah,
changes
that's
your
true.
whole outlook on life.